study about the process of transcription. Now, what is transcription? For synthesizing the protein, there is a central dogma or functioning of DNA is known as central dogma. That means the DNA will give rise to RNA, that is transcription, and this RNA, which is formed from the DNA, is known as mRNA or messenger RNA, that will undergo the translation process for formation of polypeptide chain or the protein. So first of all, we'll discuss about the transcription. Now, transcription is the copying of genetic information from DNA to RNA. So all the informations in the form of nucleotide bases, base pairs present on DNA is transferred on the RNA, and this is known as transcription. Now, this transcribed RNA will be now known as the mRNA or the messenger RNA, which will undergo the process of translation or translating all the informations of DNA base pairs taken from the DNA will be converted into the amino acid of protein. Now, but we know that only one strand of DNA will undergo the process of this transcription. That means from one DNA strand, the RNA will be taking all the informations, not the other. Why it is like that? Suppose if both the strands are undergoing the process of this transcription, then the product will be RNA having double helical structure. Again, RNA will be double helical structure, and here because RNA is formed for translating process, so due to the presence of double stranded RNA, it will prevent the process of translation, and so there is no use of the transcription. Again, it becomes so a complicated process that it will prevent the process of translation also. That's why single strand of DNA will undergo the process of transcription. That means it is giving its information, transferring its information to RNA. Now, transcription unit. The transcription unit consists of three things: a promoter region where this transcription will start. Then the structural genes having the sequence of gene, which is also known as regulatory gene, and the terminator. A terminator is there from where the transcription process will stop. You can see here, these are the two strands of DNA, and you can see this is the promoter region from where the transcription process will start and or initiates, and then these are in between. This is the structural genes or the regulatory genes which will undergo all these things, will be transcribed to the RNA, and when this portion here it will come, then the termination will occur, the process will be stopped. So three regions are there. Beside that, RNA has a specialized one specialized enzyme is there which will perform this activity, which will catalyze the formation of this RNA, mRNA from DNA, and that name of that enzyme is DNA dependent RNA polymerase. In replication we have done DNA dependent DNA polymerase. Here it is DNA dependent RNA polymerase, which is also catalyzing its reaction, polymerization reaction, only in 5 to 3 direction. And here DNA has two strands. The strand with 3 to 5 direction will be known as template strand, and other one 5 to 3 direction will be known as coding strand. Now, the promoter, the location of promoter or terminator will also decide if the coding strand, promoter will always towards the 5' end of the coding strand, and 3' end of the terminator will towards the 3' end. So in this way it is showing the location of the promoter and terminator's location will decide towards this coding strand. Now, cistron. Cistron is the segment of DNA and which is coding for any polypeptide chain. So it is necessary, it is the functional and structural unit of the polynucleotide chain, formation of the protein, etc. Now, eukaryotic and prokaryotic having some different, a little bit different types of transcription process. Eukaryotes are monocistronic. That means the structural genes have interrupted introns and exons. Now, what is intron and exon? Introns are those sequence which will appear in the mature mRNA, which are responsible for the translation process. But the exons will not appear in mature mRNA and it will not participate in the process of translation. So the sequence of base pairs will be having this exon as well as intron. That is sense or nonsense, you can say. Now prokaryotic cell have the polycystonic structural genes. Now types of RNA which are helping in the process of translation are tRNA, mRNA, rRNA. Now what is the functions of all these three? rRNA will play the structural and catalytic role during the process of translation, whereas mRNA will provide the template and tRNA will bring the amino acid and read the genetic code that we'll discuss in the next class. Now there is little bit difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic transcription. So what are those differences? We are knowing that enzyme DNA dependent RNA polymerase is there for catalyzing the polymerization of polynucleotide chain. Here in prokaryotes only single enzyme is there, that is RNA polymerase, which is catalyzing all type of RNA formation. That is the tRNA, mRNA, rRNA, for all these RNAs the same enzyme is there. But in case of eukaryotics there are three types of enzyme. RNA polymerase 1 will catalyze rRNA, then polymerase 2 hnRNA which will give rise to mRNA, then the RNA polymerase 3 will catalyze tRNA. So in this way in eukaryotes it is a complex process having three types of enzymes. Now what is this hnRNA and mRNA? When the RNA will be produced or transcribed in eukaryotes, they are in the precursor form, they are not in the mature form, and it will undergo some processing to form the mRNA or the mature messenger RNA. Now the product in prokaryotes, the whatever after transcribing from DNA, the RNA is forming in the mature form and it will just undergo the process of translation. But in case of eukaryotes, it is in the hnRNA or heteronuclear RNA form and it will undergo some processing, post modification changes, then only it will convert into mRNA and it will enter in the process of translation. One more thing, this mRNA, that is the transcription in prokaryotes, there is no nucleus and like that demarcation is there. That's why transcription as translation occurs both in cytosol, whereas in eukaryotes the transcription process will occur inside the nucleus, and after formation of this mRNA, the mRNA will enter into the cytoplasm for further translation. Now we'll study the different steps of this transcription. The steps are, you can see here the figure of DNA and the promoter region is here. Now the enzyme RNA polymerase will bind here and start the process of initiate the process of transcription. For that one factor is required and that is known as sigma factor or initiation factor, which will help in the process of initiation of transcription process. Now when after this initiation, this factor will detach from this polymerase enzyme and it will move through this side and ultimately it will transcribe all the nucleotide base pairs, and finally when it will come to this end, then here the termination factor will attach. The termination factor is also known as Rho factor, which will attach here. Here the termination region is there, and finally the newly formed newly formed RNA will be released.
In this slide we can see the steps of transcription. Now this transcription consists of three main steps, that is initiation, then elongation and termination. Now this all these phenomena is catalyzed by the enzyme that is known as DNA dependent RNA polymerase, and this RNA polymerase will catalyze the reaction with the help of the sigma factor and Rho factor. Now initiation starts, that is this enzyme will attach on the DNA, and it will start the process of transcription. For that, the initiation factor sigma factor will attach with this enzyme and start the process known as initiation. Now this enzyme will move towards in this direction, and it will read all the informations present on DNA and transcribed on the RNA, and in this way RNA is forming. Now just after the initiation, this rho factor sigma factor will detach from here, and the enzyme, that is RNA polymerase, will catalyze the reaction, and finally till elongation will occurs, and at the end when it will reach it till the end, then here for the termination or stop process, another factor that is known as rho factor will attach here, and it will catalyze the termination process. It will stop the formation of this RNA. Now this RNA is mature mRNA in case of prokaryotes, and that need not any modification, but in case of eukaryote it need some modification that we'll see in next slide.
In prokaryotes, the mRNA which is transcribed from this process, after transcription it is in the mature form, and it will directly enter into the process of translation in the cytoplasm, there only where it was formed. But if it is eukaryotic cell, then the transcribed portion or RNA will not be known as mRNA, but its name is hnRNA. It is known as hnRNA or heteronuclear RNA, which have to undergo some processing, some post-modificational changes, and then only it will convert into mRNA. That's why it is known as precursor of mRNA. Now what are those changes? You can see here the steps are splicing, capping, tailing. Now what is splicing? So here when the hnRNA is formed having both type of sequence, that is intron as well as exon, that we have already discussed. Now introns are those sequence which is not appearing in the mRNA, which is not coding, which is not utilized in the process of translation, and the introns are utilized for that purpose. So we can say exon is the nonsense sequence and intron is the senseful one. That's why all these introns and exons will be broken down here. They will be broken down in small fragments, and after that all the introns will be removed and the exons will come together and they will be joined by the enzyme ligase. After that it will be now known as mRNA, because it has having all the having the senseful coding sequence. The first step is known as splicing, that is removal of the introns and joining the exons only. Now second step is capping, means here at the 5 end, there are 2 ends, 5' end and 3' end. So at the 5' end, methyl guanosine triphosphate is added, and this process is known as capping. And tailing is adenylate residue will be added about 200 to 300 at the 3' end, and this phenomena is known as tailing. So hnRNA have to undergo 3 steps, that is splicing, capping and tailing. After that it will be converted into mRNA or messenger RNA. Now this messenger RNA is fully mature and it will enter into the cytoplasm from the nucleus, and it will undergo the next process, that is translation. That this diagram will discuss through the diagrams also.
In this slide we can see the process of RNA splicing, then capping and tailing. Now after transcription, in case of prokaryotes, the transcription will give rise to the mature mRNA, and this mature RNA will enter in the next process, that is known as translation. But in case of eukaryotes, after transcription, hnRNA will form in place of mature mRNA. Now this hnRNA requires some modificational changes to give rise to the mature mRNA. 3 processes are RNA splicing, capping and tailing or polyadenylation. Now The splicing means, as we have already discussed, that the exons are only joined and introns are removed. That is the non-coding region that will be removed, and only the exons will be joined to make a mature mRNA. Here we can see this portion. This is exon, this is intron, again this is exon, intron, exon. So this portion, that is intron, will be removed and the exons will be joined by the enzyme, and that is known as splicing. Then near the 5' end, capping will occur, and near the 3' end, tailing will occur, and all these three steps will occur. Then only the hnRNA will transform into the mature mRNA. Now this mRNA, all these phenomena occurs in nucleus. Now this mature RNA will export to the cytoplasm, where it will undergo the process of translation, and that means all the nucleotides present on nitrogenous bases present on RNA will now be translated into the amino acid of protein, and in this way transcription will undergo the process of translation. So for the maturation of hnRNA into mRNA requires this steps, that is splicing, tailing as well as capping, and all these occurs in eukaryotes only, not in prokaryotes. In this slide we can see the splicing of RNA. This figure we can see exon, intron, then exon, intron, then exon. So this is the gene DNA, and after transcription it will give rise to this RNA, that is pre-mRNA or hnRNA. Now we can see this exon and intron will be broken down, and intron will remove, and this exon will join, and this is known as the splicing. Now capping and tailing, and finally it will form the mature mRNA. Then it will be transported to the cytoplasm for the further process, that is translation. In this slide we can see the process of replication versus transcription. So what is replication? Replication is the formation of two DNA from the parental DNA, that we have already discussed, that one of the strand, both the strand will unwind, then both the strand will make its complementary strand, and in this way from the parental DNA two daughter DNA will be formed. Here we can see on this this fork, Y-shaped fork, one is the leading strand and one is the lagging strand. On the leading strand the formation is continuous, that is the DNA polymerase enzyme will catalyze the formation of complementary polynucleotide chain in a continuous manner, whereas on the other side, on the lagging strand, because this enzyme is working in a single direction, that's why it will form small RNA, that is Okazaki fragments, which will again join to make a continuous polynucleotide chain, and in this way from one parental two daughter DNAs are formed. This is the process of replication. Now in transcription, this is the process in which the RNA is formed from the DNA. That means the nucleotides which were nitrogenous bases which are present on DNA are transcribed to the RNA, and that is known as transcription process, which is required for the protein synthesis. Protein synthesis requires two parts, two steps, that is transcription as well as translation. So first of all, transcription will take place, in which RNA is formed, messenger RNA will form after transcribing, transcription process, and this RNA, now whatever the informations came on RNA from DNA will be translated into the amino acid of polynucleotide chain, and so we can see the replication is formation of two DNA from the parental DNA, whereas in transcription RNA is formed from the DNA.